Hello, I'm Jeannette Washington, and I would like to welcome you to the Color of Autism's parent training video, where we're connecting parents to culturally competent support. Our goal is for you to understand the appropriate goals for your child's early developmental needs and for you to utilize specific teaching methods to meet the needs of your child with developmental disabilities. This video was made possible by a grant from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation. As we address early development, we will focus our attention towards literacy. Literacy begins very early in a child's life, and it lays the foundation for later success in school and in society. Literacy begins at home, and it's considered a family affair. A 2008 Harvard University study found that family involvement increases children's positive feelings about literacy, which in turn improved their literacy performance. In other words, children start feeling better about literacy and like literacy more when their parents are involved in their education. So you may be wondering, what is literacy? At its simplest, literacy is the way that we interact with the world around us, how we shape it, and how we're shaped by it. By a more mainstream definition, it is how we communicate with others via reading and writing, but also by speaking and listening. The National Early Literacy Panel found that the three foundational areas of literacy are oral language, phonological processing, and print awareness. These are predictive of how well your children will learn to read. And as you may already know, reading is fundamental. Let's discuss each foundational area and how you can actively assist in laying this foundation for your child's early developmental needs. First up is oral language. Oral language begins with cooing. This is your baby's first sound production besides crying. It usually occurs between 6 to 8 weeks of age. Though oral language is mainly thought to be associated with vocabulary, some significant speech and language milestones you should consider are: by the end of 3 months, your child might smile when you appear, seem to recognize your voice, cry for different needs, and they smile when they're spoken to. By the end of 6 months, your child might move his or her eyes in the direction of sounds, pay attention to music, respond to changes in the tone of your voice, make gurgling sounds when playing with you or left alone. By the end of 12 months, your child might try imitating speech sounds, say a few words like dada, mama, or uh-oh, understand simple instructions such as come here, turn and look in the directions of sounds, and recognize words for common items like shoe. By the end of 18 months, your child might say as many as 10 words, follow simple directions accompanied by gestures, and recognize names of familiar people, objects, and body parts. By the end of 24 months, your child might use simple phrases such as more milk, ask 1 to 2 word questions like go bye-bye, speak about 50 words or more, follow simple commands, and understand simple questions. Your child will learn by absorbing information through daily interactions and experiences. With that in mind, some great ways to build your child's oral language is to talk about the day's activity with your child, to build their vocabulary, and to read books with your child. When you discuss the day's activities, be sure to use common words, but also sprinkle in larger words for your child to understand or to learn, as you are your child's first teacher. When reading books with your child, be sure to use predictive books, which are books that keep you guessing through subtle hints. A few examples would be David Gets in Trouble by David Shannon, or Does a Kangaroo Have a Mother Too by Eric Carle. Also use books with rhyming words so you can encourage read-alongs and active listening. Next, you can talk with your child about the TV programs and videos you watch together. This can promote conversational turn-taking and build social confidence. Contrary to popular opinion, reading actually starts with tuning in to the sounds of spoken words. That's right. That's where phonological processing comes in. This means pulling apart words and replicating and manipulating sounds. By definition, phonological processing is the ability to recognize and work with sounds in a spoken language. Therefore, once your child can identify the number of syllables in a word, break words apart into syllables, or single sounds by listening, understand the repetition of sounds and blending, they are activating phonological awareness. Singing songs, learning nursery rhymes, and clapping or tapping the syllables are the pinnacle. Search for songs that build phonological awareness online so you can incorporate learning through music and address one of the foundational areas of literacy. And how would you do that? How would you locate a song that has phonological awareness capabilities? Well, it's easy. Search phonological awareness songs online. You'd be surprised at what you see. Some songs you may find are Miss Mary Mac, Going on a Bear Hunt, or even Stretchy the Word Snake. Next up is print knowledge. Print knowledge is your child's earliest understanding that written language carries meaning. They should be taught the basics about books, that they are read from left to right, top to bottom, that print may be accompanied by pictures, images, or graphics, that the pages are numbered, and that the purpose of reading is to gain meaning from the text and understand ideas that words convey. You can also teach your child book-specific vocabulary like author, illustrator, book spine, pages. These words may be seamless to you, but someone had to teach you these same words too. You can practice print knowledge with your child by using oversized books. These books will draw your attention to words and letters. That way you can help your child acknowledge those words and letters. This will help your child to learn to recognize words that occur frequently, such as a, the, is, was, and you. Be sure to use your finger to track your reading motion and draw more attention to letters and punctuation marks within the story. Exposure is key. You'd be highly surprised at how much your child learned simply by watching you. Keeping books and magazines around your home is another great way that you can model expectations. Does your child see you read for pleasure or for leisure or for your occupational endeavors? These are some important questions to ask yourself as you are modeling expectations of a reader. As we recap, we've discussed 3 foundational areas of literacy: oral language, phonological processing, and print knowledge. Oral language begins with cooing at mere weeks, and it eventually evolves into simple phrases such as more milk, or 2 to 3 word sentences like go bye-bye. Your child's oral language is essentially built through your communication with your child, talking to your child about the day's activities, reading with your child, and watching videos together so you can exchange, turn-taking, and have social interactions with your child. Then comes phonological awareness, which is all about manipulating sounds and pulling words apart. Phonological awareness is the general appreciation of how language can be divided into components. For example, we speak in sentences. Sentences can be broken down into words, words into syllables, and so on and so forth. Last but certainly not least is print knowledge, which helps children understand the relationship between spoken and written language. With print knowledge, we want to make sure that our child is able to understand where the front of the book is, where the title of the book is found, where do we begin reading a book, where is the first sentence or the first word in a book, punctuation marks, capital letters, lowercase letters, the back of the book, the spine of the book. All of these are important components of print awareness. We also discussed the importance of family involvement and how it increases children's positive feelings about literacy, which in turn improves their literacy performance. Children start feeling better about literacy, and they like literacy more when their families are involved. So jump in. You can do this by telling oral stories, true, made up, or retold, to engage your child in a different way than reading aloud. Of course, you should have books that you want to share with your child, but slowing down to read some of them a second, a third, a fourth time is totally worth it. Repeated reading alouds have so many benefits. For instance, it supports vocabulary growth, and it guides children towards deeper comprehension. You can enhance and celebrate literacy learning with videos. It's no secret that video is an engaging communication medium. So use it to reinforce literacy, because after all, literacy is the way that we interact with the world around us, how we shape it, and how we are shaped by it. It's how we communicate with others via reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Literacy is everywhere. It's important to understand that everything we do, anything we encounter, is a form of literacy. It's much more than just a text in a book or a song that we're taught to sing. It's vital to understanding and surviving in this growing world. Now, there are some parents that think their child's success in literacy solely depends on their child getting the right teacher. But success really depends on how much your child learns at home before entering school. Early and frequent experiences with books and language and speech are most critical for future success in literacy. Experiences at home essentially guide the experiences that occur within a classroom. So expand your child's opportunities at home before they enter the classroom so that they can be prepared for success. Because as we know, literacy is a key component to your child's success in school, as well as your child's success in society. Thanks for viewing the Color of Autism's parent training video, where we're connecting parents to culturally competent support. Our goal in this video is so that you understand the appropriate goals for your child's early developmental needs, and for you to utilize specific teaching methods to meet the needs of your child with developmental disabilities. As we addressed early development, we focused our attention towards literacy, and now we know that literacy begins very early in your child's life. It essentially lays the foundation for later success. This video was made possible by a grant from the W.K. Kellogg Foundation.